Welcome back to the channel, guys. So you guys really love these selling videos. Someone just requested to do the top 10 oversellers in WWE history. I love these videos. They're funny. And before we get started, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and the bell next to it before we get into this video. Also, like, if I can think of the oversellers in WWE, bro, HBK has to be in here. It was so disrespectful that he wasn't in the last list. I agree with you guys in the comments. I said Dudley in the beginning of the last video. He better be in this. He better be in this list. We got to give it to Dolph Ziggler, of course. Maybe Ricky Steamboat, Ric Flair, of course. He needs to be in here. I don't know if those guys aren't in this list, or at least in the honorable mentions. I don't know anymore about Wrestling Flashback, man. I don't know. But let's get into this.
The term sell in wrestling refers to being on the receiving end of a move and then making it look realistic. The wrestler is selling the idea that they're hurt to the people watching the match. Over the history of pro wrestling, a handful of superstars have garnered a reputation for being too good at selling, sometimes to their own detriment.
The GOAT, though. Ooh.
But when somebody oversells a move, it means they're going a bit far with it.
That was too much.
Some people like it, some people don't.
Oh.
But there's no denying that it can be downright hilarious.
It is.
So in this video, I break down the top 10 oversellers in wrestling history.
Takes another shot right to the throat area.
He turned that man in a road dog. Yeah, I've seen this 100 times. Do it for your country.
Special mentions go out to Greg the Hammer Valentine.
Watch out, atomic drop.
It's like he's at the edge of a mountain trying not to fall off.
Set up the hammer, headbutt, that'll help him out and down. Whoa.
Jerry the King Lawler.
King is hoisted over the top. Here we go, another DDT. Oh, he goes for the clothesline. The King goes down. Oh, no.
Bro, if I roll down a ramp like that, as soon as I stand up, the whole world gonna be spinning around me. There's no way I'm doing
the
this.
Beast, Brock Lesnar.
Tell you what though, if I was a jobber and I knew I had like probably 3 matches on my contract and I'm out of there, of course I'm gonna try to put the best match ever. But if I'm going against like a big star, I'm overselling everything, bro. Everything. Because I think that's probably the funniest part about being a jobber, is to be able to oversell things. And just, you know, to be in a match itself, of course.
Number 10, Triple H.
Triple H,
There's no
okay.
doubt that Triple H is one of the best inside the squared circle.
HBK better be on this list,
He's been known to oversell on a number of occasions. Whether it's his classic turnbuckle bump inspired by Harley Race, where he flips outside the ring, his hilarious selling of the Stone Cold Stunner competing with The Rock, or his own version of the Flair Flop.
World Championship on SmackDown.
The game might have taken the selling a bit far at times, but there is no denying that it was so entertaining.
He's blowing air at him.
Still remembered to this day. Number 9, Ted DiBiase. Ted DiBiase was considered one of the finest in-ring workers of his generation. DiBiase was regularly the victim of hot tag comebacks by the good guys. He'd frequently bounce around the ring and act like he just got knocked out. He was also notable for perfecting a forward and backward flip on the mat.
Oh, so he
in particular from his failed double axe handle from the turnbuckle.
Dang. So will we say that he invented that? Because I know a lot of people like do that. Obviously, like The Rock from the Stunner does a backwards flip. So will we say that he invented that? I don't remember anyone else doing that before him. I haven't gone that far back into the vault of WWE to really look into it, but let me know in the comments, guys.
Number 8, Scott Hall.
Hey,
As Razor Ramon, he didn't go too overboard with the selling, but when he made the move to WCW, Scott Hall would frequently take it too far in the most hilarious way possible.
Here we go. And he connects both times.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
The facial expressions combined with the flailing around the ring made him so entertaining to watch.
I've never seen a human being do anything like this in my life. This has never been.
Yo, the mat is barely even moving. He's selling that,
Have a
man.
look back at his uncensored 1998 match with Sting, and some would say it was Shawn Michaels and Hogan-esque in terms of overselling throughout the match. Even when he made his way back to the WWE in 2002, he didn't disappoint.
He put that mug on a Ferris wheel or on a merry-go-round.
Number 7, Billy Gunn. Billy Gunn used to love bumping around the ring.
Really?
Flipping and flapping like he was in a pinball machine. Some of his most infamous oversells include the unique sell of the Stone Cold Stunner.
Okay, let's talk about this in the comment section, okay? What finisher outside of the Stone Cold Stunner has the best oversells, right? Because I know the Stunner for sure, obviously the infamous Rock, but this guy and so many other people, but what other move has the best oversells? Do we put Scotty 2 Hotty's the Worm in there? Like how people react after the chop? Do we put what other moves can we put in there? I don't know. I don't want to waste y'all time. Let's talk about it in the comments.
Running headfirst into the corner post. And flipping in the air when taking a clothesline.
To be fair, when it comes to Bradshaw back then, when they were the Acolytes, the clothesline from hell, to sell that move, everybody did that spinning, rotating thing. You know, that was just how you sold that move. That doesn't take away from Billy Gunn, but just in general, I'm just putting that out there.
Oh, that is over. Oh, nobody there for Mr. Ass.
See?
The clothesline from hell.
There's no denying that Billy Gunn had some amazing oversells.
The Undertaker and Austin. They don't like each other.
Put that man on the trampoline.
Number 6, Devon Dudley.
Yes.
Devon Dudley's selling was infamous.
Give my man his
if you
props.
haven't seen him selling that chair shot from ECW as if he was having a seizure, you're in for a treat.
What the heck? He turned into an octopus. Yo, to be fair, this is realistic though. Even though this is overselling, if you was a kid around the time I was a kid, you got whipped with a belt. If you got hit in the legs, you're doing this. You're shaking like this, bro. This is real life, bro. This is giving me PTSD. You trying to shake away the pain. You trying to get out of it.
He also mastered the classic leg tremble when getting hit with a high-flying move.
Picture perfect 450 split.
Yo, that's whenever I do leg workouts and I don't get enough and I don't drink enough water, when I wake up in the middle of the night, when that happens and I get a cramp like in my hamstring or in my foot or something like that, that's what I'm doing. I'm like trying to shake away from the pain. Have y'all ever had that situation happen when a cramp is coming and you slowly feel it building up, you trying to adjust your muscles so it won't happen, then all of a sudden it just clamps on? That's how it looks at night. And you got to try to army crawl to the refrigerator to try to get a banana or some water.
As well as frequently going into convulsions, which would be called out by the commentators.
Oh man, I love Devon, man. I miss prime Dudley boys.
His overselling was so good that years later, Xavier Woods even imitated him.
Yeah, I remember
being
that.
hit with a 3D through the table.
He's trembling on the table.
Now, before we go on to the top 5, let's reminisce on some of the true MVPs when it comes to overselling. I'm
What?
talking about the referees, managers, and announcers who have really perfected the art over the years.
He hit all 3 ropes. Shawn Michaels better be on this list, y'all. I'm serious.
Oh, goodness. Went for a springboard off the chair and nailed the
I need some help, please.
Right square in the face. Both have big matches coming.
Oh, my.
Oh.
Oh, no. They're taking so much punishment. What the hell was that for?
Hey, I get it though. You get punched in the face, you gotta roll out the ring because you don't want no more. Man, how many times have they done this spot in history?
We need help. He's hurt bad. And the Undertaker.
He barely touched him. Nah, if I get bopped in the head with a chair, I'm laying down.
Number 5, Rick Rude.
Rick
Ravishing
Rude.
Rick Rude was known for his extremely shredded upper body and his ability to work inside the squared circle and bump all over the place. Whether he was being tossed from pillar to post or bearing the crack of his ass for the world to see, Rude knew how to turn it up to 11 when it came to selling a story. He was so known for his dramatic overselling, there is even a
What
Twitter
is
page
that?
devoted to his selling of the atomic drop.
Oh, I gotta follow them. That's crazy. When somebody does a move on you and you get taller, it's crazy.
Into the rope. Elevation. Atomic drop. Sending Rude
It gave him a headache.
Atomic drop. Whoa.
Oh.
And believe me, Jim Ross, you ought to see what that feels like.
He gave him another one.
Your word for it.
What
He turned into a chicken.
Number 4, The Rock.
Yes.
WWE fans have shared videos, GIFs, and
Wrestling
social media
flashbacks,
posts of
come
The
on.
Rock's classic selling countless times as the years go on. Rock was among the few wrestlers that reached the highest level who cared more about making his opponents look good. The infamous sells for the Stone Cold Stunner
Yes,
will live
that
in
one.
infamy for Rock's over-the-top selling. While the Stunner is a great move itself, The Rock added a special effect to it. He used to flip all the way across the ring as if he'd been hit by a train.
Bro, you get stunnered so hard, it hit a region in your brain that makes you think you're getting ready to do a push-up. That's what happens.
He mentioned that he did this because he and Austin would bet cases of beer on how crazy Rock could get with his sell of the famous Stunner. Number 3,
Ric Flair. Okay.
The
come
Nature
on.
Boy Ric Flair is
Let's
one of
get
the most
HBK on
entertaining
the list,
wrestlers
please.
ever, be it
That's all
on the
I'm asking.
mic or wrestling. Ric Flair actually sold moves in a very humorous
He was
way.
like, yo, I'm going home. His body was like, nah, you out of turbo. You got to lay down.
Sometimes, which many often felt as overselling, he took those simple moves and tried his best to make them look dangerous. At the time, it definitely worked, but looking back, it's hilarious because of how far the business has come since then.
Guys would have laid low. Very important here in the Royal Rumble.
From a simple chop to the chest,
Flair flop is hilarious.
to an Irish whip in the corner, Flair would sell it all. Flair did the turnbuckle spot in nearly every match. What he would do is put his hands on both sides of the middle rope by the turnbuckle, turn his body upside down and then go over the top. He's also infamous for his exaggerated Flair flop. After being on the receiving end of a barrage of strikes from foes, Rick would stumble out of the corner and fall flat on his face in comedic fashion.
Offensively.
Oh my God.
Oh, the nosedive.
The championship matches. Flair goes face first.
Where's the respect, JR? Oh, no.
Rick made a Hall of Fame career out of embellishing the impact of many moves, but it also helped him become loved by millions.
Oh, my. And Hardy with an enziguri. And the Nature Boy caught in the temple. Oh, certainly fair play. Oh,
I remember that. That was funny. This remind me just really quick. I know it has nothing to do with specifically wrestling. Is that HBK? That better be HK. Hey, wrestle lean flashback. That better be HBK. It remind me, I think it was an episode of the Wayans Brothers where one of the brothers in the boxing ring. I could be mixing the shows up. If I am, forgive me. One of the brothers was like in the ring, and he got hit in the face by his opponent, and he got knocked out so much he turned around and started boxing the referee, thinking the referee was his opponent. And then I remember there was a real boxing match. It was between, I think, was it Canelo and Kirkwood? I think the guy named was Kirkwood. Canelo hit him so hard, the guy he was knocked out. He got back up, tried to swing at him, and just laid down. Like his body was like forgot the fact that he was knocked out, and he still tried to go for a right hook and then laid down. Where'd that accent come from? Right hook.
Number 2,
Yes,
Shawn Michaels.
thank you.
Shawn Michaels thrived in every area of wrestling when making his name in WWE. Michaels
Yes.
would become known for his selling throughout his career. But like the others in this list, amongst the great selling, there were some heavily exaggerated oversells.
Dang.
Shawn Michaels was often the prototype of a WWE superstar that intentionally oversold.
The original Dolph.
Bouncing from turnbuckle to turnbuckle and flipping over the top rope countless times. Michaels
Oh, Barry,
was
get
also
out the way.
known for taking a page out of Ric Flair's book by getting Irish whipped into the corner and flipping up and over the turnbuckle to the floor. His most infamous overselling came from his match with Hulk Hogan at SummerSlam 2005, where he flopped around like a dying fish throughout the match. There are better, more positive examples of the man selling in an overly dramatic fashion, and they're all awesome to watch.
Oh. Yo, that's so dangerous putting so much
Number
pressure on your neck.
1, Mr. Perfect. Mr.
Oh,
Perfect,
okay.
Kurt Hennig, became known for his selling more than anything else when working against other credible talents in strong matches.
I put him up there. I don't know if I put him at 1 though.
Ric Flair may have put the concept of overselling on the map, but Mr. Perfect brought it to the forefront of the WWF.
Yeah.
Perfect's matches against Bret Hart, Tito Santana, Ultimate Warrior, Hulk Hogan, Kerry Von Erich,
What
and
the
many more
heck?
saw him flying all over the ring, twisting and turning upside down several times a match. At WrestleMania 6, Perfect sold like crazy for Brutus the Barber Beefcake. At SummerSlam 1991, despite being in quite intense
I get why
pain
he's
due
where
to a
he's
back
at
injury,
on this list.
Perfect was keen to put Bret Hart over in a big way in front of a Madison Square Garden crowd. One of his most famous oversells was to receive an Irish whip into the corner and then dramatically front flip out as if the impact had been too powerful.
Mr. Perfect.
That's been hard in the corner, so hard in fact.
Even
How did
when
they
his
not laugh at
career
this
was more
stuff?
limited, Hennig still did his best to thump around the ring.
Win the title here tonight. Goldberg chops, if you will, in our sport. And right now, Hennig's not thinking of
Oh,
chops.
he almost did the Harlem Shake. Ooh, no, he really hit his head
Hennig's
on that.
selling style was his signature and that of a pioneer, as it would lead to future comparisons down the road for the other men on this list.
And makes it hurt.
And for that reason, he has to top our list today.
Dog overcame that low blow.
As Mr. Perfect.
And that brings us to
That
the end
is
of this video.
crazy,
As always,
man.
if you enjoyed the video,
Hey,
be sure
man,
to give it
you-
a like and subscribe to the channel. Also, be sure to let me know in the comments who you think is the greatest overseller.
You know what? I like this list. I actually like this list better than the previous list. This one, obviously, you put HBK in here. I'm surprised that Dolph Ziggler wasn't in the honorable mention, but I'm so glad they put HBK in here. I'm so happy that Devon Dudley got his look, because Devon Dudley was one of the ones as a kid I used to be cracking up laughing every time he was in a match. But yeah, and I didn't really think about Triple H. That was the other one I had never thought about. But Rick Rude, I forgot about how crazy he was with the sales, man. He always turned into a chicken. It kind of remind me, if you guys, okay, it's another boxing reference. Look up what do they call it? The chicken dance knockout. I think it was Zab Judah. I think that's his name, Zab Judah. When he got knocked out, he really got knocked out. If you think getting knocked out is not funny, then don't watch it. He got hit so hard, he looks at the referee, says something to him, and then kind of basically does the Ric Flair flop, like in real life. Like he wasn't like joking or anything. Go look that up. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you got anything else you would like for me to react to, let me know in the comment section. As usual, salute, peace, have a good day. Thank you for your support.